There are many beasts and monsters that ravage the world of The Witcher. Those looking to feed, to hunt, just mindlessly killing and slaying anything they come in contact with, often driven by bloodlust and hunger. However, the creature we know very simply as a wight is something quite different. These are beings that enjoy their own company, not needing nor wanting to go out and search for any trouble or unsuspecting victims. They are still classified as undead beings, but do not share any traits similar to those of others in their class. Nevertheless, their appearance is still haunting and they resemble a corpse, with thin stretched out skin, protruding bones, and long talons at their fingertips. With all that said, it has led to many folk living in terror of wights, often calling on the local militia to come and take care of them out of fear from an attack. In actual truth, a wight would never truly attack anyone unless that person decided to trespass into their habitat. From what I personally feel about these creatures, I think their main characteristic is that they're simply oblivious to the world around them and live inside their own little reality. They only really care about what they want to do, such as mixing potions, collecting strange objects like spoons, and just really minding their own business. But if they feel threatened, then of course they're going to retaliate. But again, it's another monster that has become a target for humans, not necessarily because it will actually do anybody any harm, but because obviously they think it's something that is ugly, and hence it must be evil. Although in the world they do live in, you can hardly blame anyone considering all the necrophages that creep and crawl around. In fact, when a wight does feel threatened, they're so overwhelmed and protective about themselves and their home that they'll often call on reinforcements. They're able to spew out a solution that forms and shapes itself into the ghost-like hounds known as barghists. These creatures are at their beck and call, doing whatever is commanded of them. As to how a wight is able to summon them, it's not really explained, because to be able to do this sort of thing you need to be connected to necromancy somehow and have the power to reach to them from either another world or dimension. Since wights are necrophages, hence being undead, it's a little strange that they have this much power or enough to summon spectres. Most necrophages are corpse eaters and scavengers, so wights are very unique in almost every way. Although they might not be as physically powerful, they definitely seem to be very capable in holding their own when it comes to a fight. But it doesn't end there, since wights have a more powerful and larger cousin known as a spotted wight. This subspecies was very sadly driven extinct by witches. The one you find in the Blood and Wine DLC is in fact only a woman under a curse, hence not being an actual necrophage. Both variants are very similar, being active during summer months but then going into something that could be considered a hibernation for the winter. This is the time that most wights become very easy to kill as they're almost sleeping, and I'm sure more than often or not, were slain during this state. As to why witches would drive them to extinction, it's again something that seems a little strange, as they are overall not very harmful beings. Leshens are similar monsters in the way that they kill to protect their territory, but they're much more aggressive and dangerous. If the situation is treated correctly, a wight can even be approached and remain very passive, sometimes even trying to show their guests whatever it is they're up to. They're quite innocent in that way of being so oblivious to anything outside of their own thoughts, just simply wanting to make potions, and it's honestly kind of adorable in a weird, twisted, undead kind of way. They don't care about the consequences or try to go out of their way to hurt anyone, they just want to do whatever they want. They'll often be found making their homes in old abandoned buildings or recently founded cemeteries, and of course mass graves, because they are undead after all. They're very ancient from what I can tell, and obviously misunderstood in their ways, and judged at first by their grotesque look, rather than their interest in cauldrons and spoon collections. So my fellow witches, if ever you were to find one of these creatures, remember that not all things ugly are evil, and not all things beautiful are good. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I'm sorry if these uploads are a bit slow, but I've done a lot of these in hindsight, in the sight before the hindsight. Basically, a lot of these are recorded long before they were uploaded. If you enjoyed this video, please share it around and drop a like and stay subscribed for more. And until the next one, this has been Okayguv Bear, and you go and have a very, very, very wonderful day.